Welcome! Today we're going to walk through how to track time, record what needs to be paid to your team, and bill clients accurately in Flowlu. From setting up hourly rates to tracking project costs and revenue, we'll cover everything you need to stay on top of payouts and billing in our business management platform. Let's start with the basic settings. First, make sure the time tracker module is installed in your portal and that you have admin rights. In the settings, choose where you want to use the time tracker, and make sure the option to issue invoices based on time tracker records is turned on. Also, enable the setting to create expenses from tasks. This will be the default setup, but you can always adjust it for specific projects. Now the time tracker is linked to your projects. You can set up different hourly rates for different employees. Go to Rate Management to define the cost of a task done by this employee for both your company and the client. For example, you might have one rate for an intern and another for a mid-level specialist. You can also group users into departments and assign a base rate for each group. If a task is new or more complex, you can override the default rate right inside that task. Flowlu also calculates the total task cost including taxes. You can set taxes to apply on top of the total amount, or based on the amount with another tax already included. Now let's talk about how to calculate employee payments. If you're manually tracking time spent on tasks and project, it's easy to make mistakes. This becomes even more complicated when you need to track overtime, different rates for different specialists, or specific agreements with clients. Flowlu helps automate all of this. Depending on your agreements with clients and employees, payment can be calculated in different ways. Flowlu supports several methods, so you don't have to change your usual workflow. Let's walk through each one. The first option is payment based on estimated time. This is great if you know both the employee's hourly rate and how long a task will take. In this case, you estimate how much time each task will require, and you set the hourly rate. This way, you know in advance how much you'll spend on labor and how much to charge the client. Project managers can allocate resources wisely and give customers realistic deadlines. This method works best for recurring or standard tasks. To use this method in Flowlu, just set the employee rates when creating the project and add estimated time to each task. If someone already has a rate set in Rate Management, that will take priority, but you can still override it in each task. Flowlu will calculate the task cost automatically and generate an estimated expense. Next, we've got payment based on actual time spent. Use this if you know the hourly rate but don't know how long the task will take. You set the rate, and your employee tracks their time using the built-in time tracker. If they forget, no worries, time can also be logged manually. This way, you only pay for the actual hours worked. And if the client asks for changes or extra features, you won't have to recalculate everything from scratch. You can also break down time entries within a task. Employees can leave comments with each time log to give more context. Flowlu will then calculate the total cost of the task based on track time. And finally, there's the fixed payment per task option. This is useful when you already know the full price you're going to pay for the task. It doesn't matter how long it was supposed to take or how long it actually took, the cost stays the same. You'll know exactly how much you're spending on payroll, which helps with budgeting. To use this method, just enter the fixed task cost when creating the project. You can view all upcoming expenses in the finance section under Estimated Expenses. Just filter by employee. After the work is done, you'll need to log the actual expense and assign the right category. So that's employee payouts taken care of. Now it's easier to see who's getting paid, for what, and how much. But to get a full picture of your business, you'll also want to track income. That way, you can understand the profitability of each project and your company overall. Let's take a look at a few project types. We'll start with prepaid projects. First, create an invoice right from the project card. Be sure to list all the tasks you'll perform. You can use your internal product and services catalog for this. Prices can be adjusted if needed. Once you send the invoice and receive payment, Flowlu will automatically create the actual revenue in the project card. Next, you'll create the project tasks based on the invoice. Go to Finance, Revenue, and click Create Tasks by Invoice. You can assign one person to handle the whole project, or assign different people to different tasks. Flowlu will generate the tasks and link them to the original invoice. If you're using estimated time or fixed costs, the expenses will immediately show up in the Finance tab. If you're using actual time, the expenses will appear once the employee logs their hours. Flowlu calculates planned labor costs and taxes. To get accurate profitability data, you'll still need to add the actual expense. Once that's done, Flowlu shows you the full profitability of the project. Sometimes clients request extra work. Flowlu makes sure you don't miss out on billing for that. Just manually create a new task in the project. After it's completed, Flowlu will calculate the cost and add a new estimated revenue and expense entry in the Finance tab. Now let's discuss the Postpaid projects. In this case, you'll create the tasks manually. You can save time by using a project workflow. As we've already mentioned, if you're using estimated time or fixed task costs, those expenses will appear in the Finance tab automatically. If you're tracking actual time, expenses appear once the time is logged. You'll see what the client owes under revenue, and how much you owe your employees under expenses. Keep in mind that employee and client rates can differ. Then, just issue an invoice to the client based on billable tasks, and add actual expenses for payroll. Once the payment is received, Flowlu calculates profitability and any differences from the original plan. Let's say you complete a task, send the invoice, and get paid. But then the client wants some changes. No problem, just move the task back to in progress, and log the extra time or cost. Flowlu will automatically generate a new invoice for just the additional work. No need to recalculate manually. Now let's talk about available reports. You've got timesheets where you can view time logs and filter them by assignee, project, date, and more. You can also customize the columns and export the report. Flowlu also generates automatic reports, like estimated versus spent time, which includes a visual chart and a monthly breakdown of tasks in a table. You'll also find paid tasks reports, showing how much each client owes for completed work, and weekly time summaries for each employee. Additionally, the Task in Progress report lets you track time logged by your team, filtered by specific projects. And that's it! Thanks for watching. You are now all set to manage payments and payroll in Flowlu more easily and efficiently.